What's going on, friends, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Ghosts weapon review. Today's featured weapon is the SA-805, another fairly underused gun in Call of Duty Ghosts, just like the FAD that I featured recently. But yet again, this is another weapon that's quite competitive, so it's definitely worth your time. So let's get on with this guide and take a look at the stats and figures of the SA-805 and figure out what its strengths and weaknesses are. So as always, we'll start off with the damage profile. This weapon weighs in with the figures of 40, dropping off to 25. That 25 long range damage is the most important figure, with a lot of the weapons in Call of Duty Ghosts only managing low long range figures. These stats for the SA-805 allow for a good shots to kill profile, dropping people in 3 to 4 shots. And to finish off a well-rounded damage profile, this weapon's damage drop-off starts at 25 meters, which is amongst the highest values out of all the assault rifles. The good stats continue when we take a look at the magazine size. 30 rounds is the typical size you can expect from an assault rifle, and that can be extended right up to 45 rounds with the extended mag attachment. A 2.7 second reload time, or 3.7 seconds from total empty, is one of the fastest reload times. It's only a few milliseconds behind the R5, which is the fastest reloading weapon out of the assault rifle category. And a slightly more mediocre stat for the SA-805 is its rate of fire, clocking in at 769 rounds per minute. This does seem fairly low when compared to the likes of the Honey Badger or the ARX-160 with their 800 plus rounds per minute fire rates, but when you compare it to what we're used to seeing from the assault rifle categories in Call of Duty games, 750 is usually about the middle of the road figure, so 769 is quite well rounded. It's going to give you that mix of a fast time to kill while also allowing you to conserve your ammo. The good stats also continue when we take a look at the recoil spread of the SA-805. Now, this weapon's not as pinpoint accurate as the likes of the Remington R5 or maybe the SA-2010, but just like the Honey Badger, the recoil's hardly noticeable, but it does in fact jump around a little bit under any prolonged fire. The only real downfall to this weapon is its iron sights. I've given them a 3 out of 5 rating, but I guess they are quite usable with that combination of a rear aperture and a front pin. The only problem is that rear aperture is quite bulky, with that large metal block kind of obscuring your view. It's always nice having a good set of iron sights so you don't have to kind of waste an attachment slot on a red dot sight, but for the SA-805 in particular, you could swap out the grip with this weapon having quite low recoil and use that attachment slot for an optic of some kind. So the great thing about the SA-805 is it has great stats in all the right places. When you're looking for an assault rifle, you're going to want a good damage profile to allow for a low number of shots to kill at both close and long ranges. Quite low recoil to allow you to keep your shots on target, as well as quite a fast reload time to keep you in the action, and as we've seen from the stats and figures, the SA-805 does live up to most of these expectations. This weapon can drop people pretty fast at both close and long ranges, just 3 shots to kill up close, dropping off to only 4 shots at long range, and it's also balanced with good stats all round. None of these statistics really stand out as the best in class, but that also means it's not drastically balanced with any major drawbacks. So with this weapon being so good at close and long ranges, I'm going to give it the title of an aggressive assault rifle. This is the type of weapon that allows you to just run around on the battlefield and take out enemies no matter where they are on the map, unlike some of the other assault rifles which are more tailored to being long range or specifically short range weapons, which is why it gets my overall rating of the full 5 out of 5. I do find it a little bit strange that you don't tend to see this weapon used too much on the Call of Duty battlefield, so if you're one of those guys who likes to use a slightly unusual weapon, then this is definitely one for you to try out. So that just about wraps up my review of the SA-805 in Call of Duty Ghosts. As always, I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments. Do you agree with my 5 out of 5 rating, or would you rate it a little bit lower? Don't forget, if you want to see more of my Call of Duty Ghosts reviews, then look down in that description for the link to the full playlist, where you'll find all the episodes I've already posted in a convenient list. I quite fancy looking at the K7 submachine gun next, so stay tuned for that one. Otherwise, thanks for watching, I'll catch you all later.